yourself. Okay, you gotta speak very loud.
Yeah, very loud and be loud and confident. I know that's hard.
Talk to your people. They're here. They're watching you.
But that's the thing is I start to mind I get emotional.
Just talk.
That's okay. All right.
Just talk.
I already took 2. I'm just trying to figure out.
Did you start it already?
So, ladies and gents, this is Heather, and she is going to be talking to you a little bit today about her experience and her journey over the last few months and where it's brought her. So, welcome, Heather!
Okay, so I really have no idea how to start this.
Who are you?
Start with the Heather report.
You just introduced me.
Well, where are you from? Say. What do you do?
I'm from Southeast Kansas, and I was a military kid, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a mic?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, do you want to stand behind the podium?
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Check, check.
Probably more comfortable.
This is our meeting.
I love your That's my mating call.
Can I hold it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. However you want to do it.
Are you still on?
Yeah, we're still live.
You're live.
Okay, so, whoa.
Yeah.
Woo, we can hear you. Yay! Oh, she says, Amanda Wilson says you got this. See? Your people love you.
That's right.
So, as you guys probably found out, I am very, very soft-spoken and withdrawn. I guess in the beginning, like I said, I was a military kid. I always moved from place to place, never really had long-lasting friendships, anything stable really. And then, obviously, if you start, getting hurt and everything, then as a younger woman, I turned to men. And then I always have been the kind that tries to help everyone out. And so I would always, as my dad says, help all the puppy dogs. And so,
I don't know, it keeps cutting.
hello?
Yeah, that's what we're going to change it.
Just keep going. You're fine.
Anyways, so I always tried helping everyone out and putting everybody else before myself and never really getting far because I always just tried to do everything for everyone else and I never lived my life for myself. And I got into a mode where I would never do anything for myself. I would never think for myself. I would never want things for myself. I just pretty much lived my life for everybody else. And it was very hard for me to overcome that. So during that stage, I met my ex-husband. So I got married and divorced at 18. He pretty much chose drugs and alcohol and abuse over our relationship, and I was 18, so that kind of affected me for a long time. And then I finally decided to stick up for myself and try to go further. And a little more from that is he was the first man I kind of had been with after I had been raped in the past. So he was really important to me, and then he betrayed me and let me down. So it was like my world was broken whenever I found out that he was cheating on me. I went to boot camp in the Navy, and I ended up getting kicked out because of depression and anxiety. I couldn't focus or anything. And then I got phone calls all the time saying that he came to my parents' house, smelling like sex and alcohol at 4 in the morning. And so I just decided to pretty much come back home and try to figure things out and get my shit together to pretty much find out that he sold everything from me, underneath me, and was selling drugs in my parents' house and cheating on me. He pretty much took all the money that I made when I was overseas, not overseas, but in Chicago in boot camp, and left me with nothing but a bad credit score. So I pretty much had to start fresh after all of that and just pretty much start my life over. And during that time, I went through a really bad phase because I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about necessarily living. I didn't care about where I was going. I didn't think I was going anywhere. Like, my world was crushed. So I moved to Texas, and all I knew was, before that, I went to go get our divorce, and I found out I was pregnant. And I was told for 5 to 6 years that I could never get pregnant. And so I was really relieved that I finally did. And then I was really scared the whole time. And I went to go sign our divorce papers, and he called me that day and told me that if it was his, he was gonna kill it. Sorry.
Okay.
There's tissues for both.
And then 3 days later, I went to get the first ultrasound, and there was nothing there. And so after that, I was just completely broken. Here I wanted something for so long, thinking that it would make everything better. And it was just heartbreaking. And so I had a lot of pain from that. I turned to drugs, alcohol, men, everything above, because I couldn't talk about it for the longest time. Thank you. As you know, it's still hard to talk about. But I finally decided, I don't deserve to live like that. And obviously, drugs and alcohol are more important to him, and I am somebody. And so I decided to start over, and I went to go live with my mom. And I was tired of being pretty much like a gypsy, living from place to place and depending on everybody else but myself. And I kept having problems trying to go back to him because I was just so scared and afraid. And I pretty much dealt with abuse many times, but I felt like I kind of put myself in that position going back to him. But I felt like I couldn't stand on my own. And then my husband now, he's amazing. He had tried talking to me for 2.5 years, and I never gave him the time of day because it seemed like everybody I did give time, they betrayed me. And it made me really bitter and aggressive at times. And now it's just like that's all a thing of the past. I mean, I'm still hurt from everything that I've been through, but since I met my husband, he gave me the strength to go on, I guess. And then my dad told me a long time ago, he said, once you find the right man, that everything will come into play and you will have kids. And so I finally had my babies, and I did everything I could to make sure that everything was perfect. And I ended up having preeclampsia, which scared the crap out of me. I almost lost me and my son. And after that, I felt like a horrible mother because I couldn't admit to people that I guess I was scared, that I didn't think I was okay to have kids. And it was just, instead of, holding this beautiful baby and thinking, he's my world, I had to pretend to everybody. And I don't really remember our first delivery because I was so drugged up from the preeclampsia. I almost stroked out, and so I'll never have those memories. I just remember the after effects, and it was so hard to admit to anybody that, you know, I wasn't this happy, cheerful mother. I just had a baby, and I kept kind of dealing with it and trying to move on and knowing I had issues. And I had been seen about 5 years ago, and they told me that I had borderline personality disorder due to not dealing with all the trauma I dealt with over a time period. And so I felt like I was really scared to be able to make decisions because I didn't want to make the wrong ones for my kids. And then I happened to get really self-conscious, and I didn't like who I was, inside, outside, anything like that. And so I started really not wanting to be intimate, not wanting to do anything, not wanting to wear certain clothes, not doing my makeup, not showering. I just got in this deep depression, and I just wanted to sleep the day away and not do anything. And I knew I couldn't do that because I had priorities and I had to take care of my kids. Well, one kid at the time. And, you know, my husband didn't deserve that. And I happened to start trying to lose weight, and I saw that Faith had lost 50 pounds, and I was like, dude, what have you been doing? And she was like, well, I've been doing this coffee. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, let me try it. And so I asked her to send me a sample, and my friend at the time, she was staying with us, and she tried a sample as well. And for a long time, I would just wake up irritable and lash out on everybody, and I had no reason why. It happened, and there were so many different things I couldn't explain. It was just different things that's life, you know. I felt like that's just how my life is going to be, and that's the way it is. And so I never really asked for answers. I just dealt with it for a long time. And then I asked my friend, and I was like, are you happy? Like, do you feel good? Because I feel good. And I was like,
what is this?
no, seriously, like, are you happy? I feel good. Do you feel good? And we were arguing with each other about whether we were serious or whether we were crazy, because she was arguing with her spouse, and she's like, yeah, I feel good. And I was like, holy crap, like, what is this stuff, and why have I never heard of it? And to be honest, it sat on my counter, well, it sat in my drawer for like 3 days straight, and I didn't touch it, because I was like, there's no way. And because I tried everything, and with a C-section, you know, you have that little flap, and you just can't get rid of it. And actually ended up having 2 C-sections back to back, and I fought postpartum during both pregnancies and in between and so forth. I remember there was times when I would literally take 5 baths a day just so I could cry alone. And I mean, it sucks to say, but there was times I would ask my husband if there was somebody else who should take our children, because I was thinking about putting myself in a hospital. It really sucks to have to admit things like that, and to be honest with yourself that, you know, you're not okay. And that was whenever I was like, okay, I gotta do something. Like, this isn't right. And I was making some crazy decisions that scared the crap out of me, and I had went to go try to get checked in Grand Lake, and they were taking forever. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I was like, I haven't lashed out on you for like 3 days. Like, what's up with that? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, what is up with that? And I was like, I don't know. And just slowly I started noticing more things, and, you know, all the problems that I've had for going on 7 years or more, it just seemed like they were a thing in the past, and I didn't have to deal with that anymore. And I thought that was life, and now I see life for life. And there was times where I couldn't even change my kids and be happy about it, you know, be happy that they're alive and well. And I mean, it's just crazy how much things have changed. And I've lost 27 pounds off of it. I used to care so much. I can't say I don't, because I still do, what people think. Because like I said, I've always lived my life for others. And now, I mean, not saying it's the best, but I do a lot better knowing that, you know, I can trust myself making decisions. I can trust that we're going to be okay. I can have faith that, you know, whatever, it's going to work out. You know, I'm going to be okay. I can know that, you know, whether I have a job or not, I am safe. I'm financially stable. I mean, just those type of feelings, they don't come overnight, but when you have them, it's like you don't ever want to lose them again. And I mean, if you guys haven't tried this stuff, you guys totally should. But I mean, you can hear any of us speak all day long about, you know, how it's changed our lives, and you're not going to know until you actually try it yourself. I actually never really talked about the things that I went through as a child or young adult or anything until I saw your live, Kieran. It really inspired me to be stronger.
Yay!
Absolutely.
So,